All right, so today's video is gonna be a little bit different. Usually it's like super scripted. I think about it for a long time. I was thinking, why don't I try a video where I just give my honest opinion and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so today's video is why most music producers fail to make a living and what you can do to be the exception. And so why does my opinion on the topic even matter? I've been a full-time producer for over 5 years now, and that's selling beats to artists and working with artists like Rush, Joyner Lucas, Rick Ross, collabing with producers like Boy Wonder, and I've made over $1.1 million selling beats on them. Number one reason I think most producers fail to make a living is because they're too emotional. I just work with a lot of producers, and if you're choosing to be a producer, you're kind of driven by emotion. And it's cool to be like passionate and stuff like that, but like your emotion it's not always right. Like most of the time it's wrong, to be honest. Like everything that I've been like successful, I've had to overcome my emotions instead of following my intuition. I think you should follow your intuition, big picture of deciding to become a music producer. But like when it comes to like the details of it, I don't know, your emotions are lying to you all the time. So people are guided by their emotion. It's like, what do I want to make today? What do I feel like? It's probably wrong. Emotions are so inconsistent. You have to look at results and you have to look at data and you have to look at like where you want to go. And it's like where you want to go. And that's a good segue into my next thing is so many producers who claim they want to make a living are just like unclear about their goals. And it's like, to be honest, like think about how many people want to do this full time, like professionally, like it's a lot. So you have to have clear concrete plans. And I think that scares a lot of people because if you have a clear concrete plan, then you might fail, which is also scary to people. So like, here's like a metaphor. It's like, oh, I want to be an Olympic athlete. What sport do you want to play? I don't know, just one of them. But like, as long as I believe in myself, I'll get there. It's like, what? I mean, no, like Michael Phelps is training for his exact, like his swimming, the exact type of swimming, the exact like, and it's like very specific. So you have to have very specific goals. When I was really doing well with my type beats, like when I was probably doing as good as anyone, like I was like, my goal is like, I want to be the biggest type beat producer. I want to dominate these specific keywords and I want to post this many times a month and I want to get this many views per beat. And it's like getting that many views is a byproduct of dominating the keywords. I wanted to run the Kanye West, J. Cole, Drake keywords. I just wanted to dominate that. That was like the very specific goal. 100% of my time was dedicated to that. And most people are like, oh yeah, I want to be a successful music producer. It's like, what does that even mean? You can do it so many ways. So you'll never be able to make progress if there's not like a very clear, super specific, defined goal that you want. Type beat producer, that's not good enough. I mean, like specific goals of mine were like, I want to dominate Kanye West college dropout type beats. Like that's so specific. And then like I would dedicate a year to doing that. So like, do you think someone's going to be able to compete? Like it's such a niche thing that I'm dedicating like my entire life to at that point. Like, do you think someone's gonna be able to compete? Probably not. Someone that like is like, oh yeah, no, I'll throw Kanye college dropout type beat from time to time. Like it's just gonna lose. Okay, the other thing is like arrogance. Like people always think their music is better than it is because they're excited that they made it. Truthfully, like a lot of the time, the music is not good enough, but like people refuse to accept that. And what does good even mean? So it's like what the consumer is looking for. If your goal is to be professional, that goes back to people not having clear goals. You need to be open to the fact that your music might suck. Like it's not a big deal because you can get better. Okay, I want more placements. My music is clearly not good enough to get placements, or my strategy is not good enough to get placements. Something's not good enough because I'm not like getting these crazy placements every single week. If someone was telling me like, especially someone who's getting placements, you need to do this, this, and this, I'm like, awesome. Okay, I'll improve. Like, and then most people are like, nah, like you don't get it. Like everyone's sleeping on me. It's like, probably not. Okay, not willing to make compromises. This is a huge one. So a lot of people, they're like, I want to be the biggest artist of all time, yet I only want to use like weird jazz chords. It's like, you got to make compromises. Like that's like saying like, I want to be shredded with a 6-pack, yet I only eat ice cream for every single meal and I'm not willing to change that. It's like, I mean, best of luck to you, but like you're gonna be frustrated. It's like if you want to be super artsy and stuff, like find your lane and realize that you're not gonna be the biggest producer on the planet, and that's okay. That's like up to you. That's your goal. But then like people, if they want to make more money, if you want to grow your brand, there's certain things that I'm not quite willing to compromise on. Like I know I should probably be making like some corny TikToks from time to time, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me to compromise. If I'm like, why am I not getting views, or why is like my stuff not doing as good as it could? It's like, well, I mean, maybe it could be that. So it's like, that's on me. That's my fault. Another reason most producers like don't make a living is because they only hang around producers and they only try to impress other producers. It's natural because as you start to get into something, you start to find people that also like the same things as you. But producers don't buy beats. Producers buy sample packs, so that could maybe work. People stay in those groups and they don't even consider artists' opinions. Like hang out with rappers, go into the real world, try to make beats, like try to get people freestyling on your stuff, like try to get that actual real world experience and see what like gets people going, like people that aren't in your like tight little circle of artsy producers. Like that's what you can scale. That's how you can make money. That's how you can grow a business. Because if like your beats are making people rap better than any other beats, you're gonna sell beats. Like simple as that. Oh, and then here's like the last thing, and I think this also goes into the arrogance. To be honest, I've actually struggled with this from time to time. It's why I don't make more content, probably. But it's like just afraid to look dumb. Like everyone wants to be like so cool and act like they've already made it. It's like no matter what age you're at, like if you haven't made it, you haven't made it. Like it's like you can't fool anyone. You can't hide it. Sometimes you have to accept that if you want to get to here, you can't pretend that you're here already, because like you need to accept that you're down here and just be honest about it. And like don't need to feel bad about it. Okay, I'm down here. This is where I'm currently at. What happens to a lot of people is they put out something, they think like they're the next Kanye for sure already without even putting any work in 3 months into their producer journey, and turns out they're not, because like even Kanye like probably did like 800 beats before like we even heard one of them publicly. But like people think they're already at that level, and then they put it out and they find out they're not at that level and their feelings get hurt, and then they like back away. So you're gonna have to look dumb. Like unfortunately it does take like 10 years of working at something every single day to become really, really good. And even then you still make mistakes all the time. You're just gonna have to, you're just gonna have to suck it up. You're gonna have to look dumb. You have to like try your hardest on something and it's gonna be embarrassingly bad. You have to put it out and you have to get public feedback, and it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna be like, I don't ever want to do this again. And then you have to figure out how to get your motion straight, and you have to figure out how to go back at it the next day. And you have to just continue to do that. Why most producers, what's the title of this video? Why most producers fail to make a living, because like they hit that and they run away, and that's like the last you ever see of them. I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to talk about the things to do right. Okay, so what you do right about that. So you're emotional. That's cool to be emotional. Everyone has like those feelings. Just don't trust them, and then try to pick what's the smartest thing to do, what your goals. And like then arrogance, like just be a learner. Just be like, just always assume you're not good enough. And like that's never gonna go bad unless it gets like destructive and you're like, stop posting stuff because you're like, I suck. Like don't do that, but like keep putting stuff out and be like, it's okay if I'm not good enough yet, I'm gonna get better, and just have that attitude. Unclear about your goals. Okay, be super specific, like be super niche and specific, like almost so much that it's kind of like that it makes you nervous, like it should make you nervous. Not willing to make compromises. Okay, be honest with yourself. Like, do you want to be a huge producer? Okay, well, you have to make the type of stuff that allows you to become a huge producer, that there's a big market for. If that's not naturally what you want to do, if your goal comes first, then you're gonna have to change. And that's not a big deal. Like maybe dumb stuff down a little bit. And then isolated real world experience, just get out there and like start hanging out with rappers, like start like digitally or in person, like start a Discord and start talking with rappers often, like start to like even FaceTime them. Like I do that stuff. And afraid to look dumb, you're just gonna have to suck that one up. Who knows, I might look dumb doing this video and I gotta do it anyways. The only reason I say this stuff is to hopefully there's someone out there that this helps. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.